What is good, Raider Nation? It's your boy Raider Alex, back with yet another video for you guys. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, let's just jump right into the topic of this video. We got breaking news, but unfortunately not the type of news that ideally we want to hear, and that is the fact that the Raiders are officially releasing defensive tackle Christian Wilkins just 1 year after he signed a big 4-year, $110 million contract.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn!
God damn it!
This was reported by ESPN's Adam Schefter. And according to Schefter, this is due to how Christian Wilkins treated his rehab from the foot injury that he suffered last season in October. And the Raiders are voiding the remaining $35 million of his guaranteed money left on his contract. But Christian Wilkins is going to fight this. He has officially filed a grievance with the NFLPA. And I mean, this is just a strange situation. And we all kind of speculated that, the rehab process was not ideal with Christian Wilkins. A couple months ago, we saw that he was still in a boot, and that was definitely the first red flag. Both it still being early in the offseason, we had the hope and the expectation that he would get healthy right before training camp. And what's kind of strange too is a couple days ago, he was seen at the Raiders facility at headquarters dancing around, and it's starting to look like he's in good shape. At that point, I was hopeful that, hopefully he could get on the football field, start to gear up for the start of the regular season. But it appears like the situation essentially boils down to the Raiders wanted Christian Wilkins to have another surgery on his foot injury. And it seems like Christian Wilkins didn't want that. I mean, currently there's still a lot of speculation, but that's the word on the street right now. Essentially, there's a disagreement in the overall rehab process. So this is definitely a very strange situation. Not a great look on the Raiders organization, and just in general, a messy situation. I definitely understand the fact that we got a new regime in here with John Spytek and Pete Carroll, and they didn't necessarily go out and get Christian Wilkins. He's not necessarily one of their guys, but he's still a talented player. He's still a player in a big position of need, and he had a big contract, so you would think that they would do everything they could to retain a talent like this, try to get him healed up from that injury, and try to get him on the football field as soon as possible. Ultimately, the Raiders cut ties. They made a business decision, washing their hands away from Christian Wilkins. But it will be interesting to see how this situation pans out, because financially, I mean, the Raiders are trying to avoid the rest of his guaranteed money. But like I said, Christian Wilkins has officially filed a grievance with the NFLPA. So I'm sure he has an argument that he's going to try to fight for and try to get as much money as possible. And with him being a player, you can't blame him. But like I said, it's going to be interesting to see how the situation pans out. Because if he has a case, and if the Raiders are still going to be on the hook for paying this guaranteed money, then it's just going to be a disastrous move, in my opinion. Definitely super disappointing. Like I said, the defensive tackle position has been a huge need for the Raiders. We've never truly addressed it, whether it be very high in the draft or in free agency. And when we went out there and signed one of the best available defensive tackles in Christian Wilkins, that got me very excited. He's still really young, so you never think that an injury like this would end his time so shortly with the Raiders. But I guess, NFL, when it comes to injuries, stuff like that, it's unpredictable. And honestly, the Raiders, for whatever reason, when it comes to free agency signings, at least these big signings, these big deals, man, it seems like we're cursed in that sense. And to me, it's definitely a big blow. I think the way I kind of saw this team, especially on the defensive side of the football, at least on paper, it looked like our defensive line could very well be the strength of this team. Having Max Crosby and Kuntz on the edges, and with having Christian Wilkins as a defensive tackle position. But now we're shorthanded. We're going to need Adam Butler to step up. We're going to need some of these younger guys, Jonah Lalu, Leki Fotu, our draft picks, Tonka Hemingway, JJ Pegas. These guys are really going to have to step up. But, at the end of the day, it is a huge loss. And unfortunately, definitely one of the worst free agent signings of recent memory for the Raiders. For you to sign a player to a 4-year, over $100 million contract, and he only played in 5 games, and it all comes to an end. Super disappointing situation. And overall, we'll just have to see how our general manager, John Spytek, handles this situation. I definitely see the defensive tackle position being a need now. What do we do now? Do we try to go and trade for somebody? Are we going to make a signing? Are we going to go in the free agent market, try to pick up anybody to try to fill this void? You know, it's already late in the offseason, so it's going to be difficult for him to really do anything that's going to have a huge impact. But overall, I was really shocked seeing this news. Definitely very disappointed. But Raider Nation, let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. What do you think the Raiders should do now? And what do you think just in general of this whole Christian Wilkins situation, especially with him filing a grievance with the NFLPA? Let me know in the comment section down below. But with that being said, Raider Nation, that is all for you guys in today's video. Anybody that is new to the channel, you guys love Raider related content just like this, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. That being said, I will see you guys in the next one.